What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. How are you? You are here for a deck reveal that I'm not going to do. Okay, I know I promised earlier this week that there's going to be a deck reveal. I had a novelty deck that I purchased. I thought it was so cute, and I was like, oh, I'm going to share this with you. I was even over on Geo Choi's channel. I think her name is the Tarot Toad. She also goes by that. I was on her channel, and I saw the deck, and I saw a lot of the images, and I was like, I don't know about this one, but I had already bought it. Okay, so when it came in the mail, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So this is the deck here. It is called What's Gossip? Oracle cards. As you can see, there's no specific author's name. And I since have learned that this is indeed an AI generated deck. Now, don't be shocked. I know some of y'all were like, oh, ooh, what? I know some of y'all were like that. Yes, there are a lot of AI created decks out here these days. A lot of people who are creating decks are using AI to create the decks. And I've seen some beautiful decks that are AI generated. This is the era. This is the time. We just can't get around it. The deck I showed y'all last time, let me see if I can pull it back up, was the Love and Money deck. And I was like, there's no author on it, no creator, nothing. And I just loved the way these images looked and everything. I still do. This is an AI generated deck. This one, however, I thought was created with some, what's the word on it? Thought. With some thought. This one, however, once I seen the video over on Geo Choi's channel, I realized that it wasn't so much. It had a good concept, but that's where the buck stopped. Now, as she was flipping through the cards, I seen so many errors on this deck, and after about the fifth or sixth one, I was like, I don't want it. I'm gonna take it back. So that's exactly what I did. So I'm just gonna show you one image here, and I think this was the final straw for me. They had this as one of the cards, Plastic Smiles, right? Did y'all notice anything out of the ordinary on this card? No, you don't. You don't notice that these characters only have 3 fingers? 3. That bothered the crap out of me. 3 fingers. So as we go through the deck itself, there was spelling errors. There was font size errors. Like this particular word, plastic, the S would jump out and be a capital S. This is an example of what was going on the cards. There was many cards where the characters had 3 fingers, or had 6 fingers, or had 4 fingers. There was many cards that was like that. And although that was very good concepts, I could not do it. I don't think there would be a single person out there that will sit there and look at me do a reading with those cards and take me serious. I know YouTube wants us to say this is for entertainment purposes only. I know that's what they want us to say, but truly speaking, my site is not. My readings aren't for entertainment, unless I tell you they are. My readings are giving actual guidance based off of what I'm actually seeing in the card. So I was like, I can't do the deck. I can't do the deck. It was too many. There were 6 that I saw just in Jill's video. But then when I started researching the individual cards online myself, I kept finding more. There was even one image where the guy was looking at a cell phone. It was called on red. You know, sometimes somebody texts you and you leave a message on red. Yeah, it was called on red. Child, all the messages were on the back of the phone. He ain't seen nothing. Nothing. Okay, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So, and it's not necessarily that I have a problem with AI generated decks, because truth be told, we have been using AI creating decks for a long time, some form or fashion. One of the things that I could say that I have one of the biggest issues with are decks that are copyright infringed. And I'm going to give you an example of one, and it's one that I kept that I did not return. And that is the Goddess Guidance Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue. If you have this little bitty ass box with the QR code on the back, baby, you got a fake deck. You got a fake deck. The Doreen Virtue cards were about this size, and these are this size. You got a fake deck if you got a small deck, and it don't say pocket size on the cover. But let me tell you why I kept this deck. At the same time that I bought this deck, that's when Doreen Virtue was saying that she was giving up tarot. She wanted everybody to throw out their tarot cards, burn them in the fire, and no longer read. And she was no longer going to produce them. So she no longer wanted money from them, this, that, and the third. So because she said that, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep my little fake deck. Now, a lot of people, a knockoff deck, I'm going to call this a knockoff deck. A lot of people during this particular time were very pissed off with the printers because there was a lot of all the fake decks or knockoff decks were seemingly coming out of China. Well, what do you think when all the decks seemingly are printed in China? A lot of our independent designers, they print their decks in mass in China because it costs so much less money than it does finding a print and publishing house here within the United States. Now, what I can say, like my Cosmic Cycles Tarot deck. Let me go ahead and pull that out too. This deck here, boom, very beautiful deck. Very beautiful deck, right? It is actually illustrated by someone, so it's not like AI generated images. It's illustrated by someone, but they printed this deck in China. It took us almost 6 to 7 months to get our deck because of the COVID situation, because all the doggone ships was stuck coming out of China because they wasn't letting them bring no mail here. So yeah, this one, see it there? Boom. Can't see it? Boom. It's not showing to you? It say printed in China right there. That's what it say. So majority of decks are printed in China. So just saying that a deck is printed in China doesn't necessarily mean that it's a knockoff, but it's almost a guarantee that your deck may be copied. If you got it printed in China, at some point they're going to copy your deck and redistribute it the same way they did with the Guidance Oracle cards, and they'll stick that QR code on the back. Sometimes one of the telltale signs too is that it's a flip top box when she had a coffin style box. Another telltale sign is there's no guidebook or textbook. You have to go download the guidebook or textbook online, and it's usually a PDF, file somewhere out there in the atmosphere. That's usually some telltale signs. 1 second. I dropped an image that I wanted to show you guys. But then sometimes when I say that people are using AI generated decks and have been using AI generated decks, they've been doing so for a long time. So this one, when Doreen Virtue was printing decks, one of the things that I noticed is that she likes to use the same image in a lot of cards. So if you look at this card here, see that woman's face? See that woman's face? I'm trying to get the ring light off of it. That's the exact same woman, different color eyes, different color hair. Child. And if you go through probably about the 15, 20 decks that she has, maybe more, I don't know. Same woman. She uses the same image over and over again. And how are you able to do that? Photo manipulation, AI generation. That's how they're able to manipulate a lot of artwork in these decks and reuse them over and over again. There was a lot of people that went to Fiverr. Fiverr has a bad habit of reusing the same image over and over again. As a writer, I can look at a lot of independent people who are using getting book covers done on Fiverr. It's the same freaking cover. Even in their own books, they have printed 5 books, and each book has the same title to it, or the same image with a different title. They do it. They've been doing it. This particular deck, they use the same woman in both decks. She even got on the same, both cards. Even got on the same dress. Even got on the same dress. This person right here, you know who that is? He's that chef, Curtis. What is Curtis' last name? Curtis Stone. That's who that is in that image. I don't know what's going on with her. They just changed her body limits. They're both AI generated. Okay, this deck is old. What year is this deck come out in? The deck is old. This guy right here, I don't know if you see it, that's the actor Nate Parker, child. Nate Parker, that's the actor. There's another, there's a whole lot of Nicole Kidman in this deck. A whole lot of Nicole Kidman. And I could have sworn I probably saw some talk on Lindsay Lohan too. But this person, she kind of looks like the one who played Addie on Grimm. She kind of looks like her. Same person, same hair flow, everything. These are AI generated images. That's what they are. Nobody's drew them. And nobody's taking a photo of them. It's AI generated images. So, you know, we've been using AI for a long freaking time. If we haven't been using AI, we've been using photo manipulation. Sometimes we can take those pictures and we use certain images and create our own from it. And this one is not a tarot card, but this is an idea of photo manipulation. I took this picture. This picture is my daughter, and I placed her in 4 different places in this photo. And I thought about creating my own tarot deck, and I was like, but I can't, my brain can't connect what I want my image to say to the card itself. But I'm thinking I could have used this for the 4 cups. She's in 4 different places. This is the same part, by the way. I just did photo manipulation to make it look like this is all one scene and they're all there at the same time. But I could have did this as the 4 cups. In my brain, I have been creating my own tarot and my own oracle decks. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't have that thought process of what I want images to look like. But yeah, so another thing when they was talking about decks made in China. This deck here is clearly made in China. Okay, but one of the things that I would say about this deck, I don't believe it's a knockoff. Even though people talked really bad about this deck, I loved it because it's holographic. People talked really bad about this deck. The numbering system is sometimes wrong. I can't remember which one I got duplicate of the numbers because there's so many freaking cards. But yeah, it's not a knockoff. Or if it is, y'all tell me what deck did they copy? What deck did they reprint and resell as they own? That I want to know. Because I haven't been able to find a deck like this. Of course, that is the Rider-Waite images, but I got thousands of decks with modified versions of the Rider-Waite images. That's the Rider-Waite image. Do I got any that I can pull her out that's not going to knock my whole table over? Oh, it's already full. But I got thousands of decks with the exact Rider-Waite images that they have just resourced the card and made them fit whatever, you know, deck they want to put it in. I'm just trying to see. I don't have tarot decks right here. There's a lot of I don't have a lot of Rider-Waite decks right here because I'm not really a Rider-Waite fan. But then there's things like Miss Cleo. Y'all know who Miss Cleo is, right? The psychic hotline. Calm me down. Yes, this deck here. They ain't even got permission to use this woman's face. I think is she still in jail? I know she went to jail for fraud, but I don't know if she's still in jail. They don't have permission to even use her face, but they stuck her face on this box. Okay, now something like that I probably would take problem with, but since she didn't, I didn't say nothing either. But the only knockoffs that I guess I would have a problem with is knockoffs of people who are losing money. And since Doreen Virtue says she don't care about these decks, she don't care about the money, that's why I chose to keep this one. Otherwise, I probably would have returned it. But her decks are so rare now. They cost a lot. People on eBay selling them for $300-$400, child. And I'm just not gonna be the one. I was so in love with that Romance Oracle deck. And then I realized that a lot of images in the Romance Oracle deck is in her past life deck. A lot of the images are just reused over and over again. How many times can you reuse the same freaking angel? But when I see people reading with that deck, they do such good readings with it. That's the only reason why I wanted it. So what else? What else I have for you? So I think that's it, right? That's it. That's all I'm gonna really talk about. Oh, and novelty decks, because somebody had a problem with me having this novelty deck, saying they probably didn't give the money to the original owner. But again, a knockoff is a reprint or redo of somebody else's exact work. I have never seen an original deck like this. This is definitely an AI generated deck based off comic strips, or using comic strips as the image, and I love them. I love them. Okay, it happens to be one of my new favorite decks, as I've explained before. But novelty decks are things that I don't have many of. My Barbie deck. Now, this creator probably ain't got no permission at all to use Barbie. Use the likeness of Barbie in any of her decks, but she did such a great job. These look to me to be drawn or painted, because they don't look like exact Barbie and Ken dolls. They might be AI generated, because some of the faces look like they could be of real humans. Some of them, not all of them, you know. But I simply love this deck, child. Whether she got permission from Barbie, Mattel or not, I don't give a flying fig bar. Okay, I'm keeping this deck, and I'm going to use this deck. This is a Kipper deck. I think when I did my independent reviewers, and I went over my independent decks, I said this was a Norman deck. This is a Kipper deck, which is similar to what this deck is supposed to be. Now, I did see some changes between the cards, between this Kipper style and this actual Kipper deck, and I think I'm going to go over that in another video and show y'all the difference of my Kipper decks, in addition to what else am I going to do. What did I do with that box? My Lenormand decks. This is my Mystical Lenormand. This is my Celtic Lenormand. Kipper and Lenormand are different systems in which to read cards, and I happen to absolutely love the Kipper method. Oh, I get some of the best accurate readings with using Kipper, but I've never used Lenormand, and I'm going to do a comparison video too, because I think these are the only two Lenormand decks that I own, because I haven't learned the system, and I want to learn the system. Even if I never use it again, I want to know how the system is supposed to be used. I thought it was similar to Kipper, but it's not quite. But yeah, they're real small. Lenormand cards are always real small, because I think from what I've seen on YouTube, they usually make a big grand tableau where all cards are used. This deck has 37 cards, and I think there's normally 36. This one has 36 cards, but there's more cards in this deck, because a lot of the deck cards, like the number 1, they gave you 2 different versions of it. There's a male and a female, and there's different directions being traveled. The number 5, they gave you 2 different versions of the trees. One is going into winter and hibernation. It's kind of barren, got the little poisonous berries. And this one is a tree that's full of life. There's a crack in the trunk, but there's nuts on the ground, which means that there is still producing life or abundance. 2 different number 7 cards. So one of the snake is shedding its skin, and one of the snake look like it's on a full attack. You know, it's in defense mode. So once I learn this system, I'll probably try to do some more readings. And when I do the first readings with these, I'll do them on myself. I'll do them on myself. Hold on, my daughter just texted me. Let me see if I can respond to her. Reply. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, and I don't know, some of these, yeah, give me like 3 different birds, you know, so there's a lot more cards in this Lenormand deck than it is in this one. But this one only goes up to 36, this one goes up to 37. So I'm going to get into those. I'll probably do another video for that as well. And box. I don't think I've ever really showed them. So I could have did that then. But I don't know. I just wanted to do just a little description and explain to you guys why I'm not doing a deck reveal as I promised. Heck, you guys probably don't even care that I didn't do a deck reveal anyway. I barely get people to watch those videos. Okay, so my Kipper cards. I know that this Kipper deck has extra cards. This goes up to 39, I believe. 39. But I think in a normal Kipper deck, it stops at 36. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. And then, let's see. I think for my Barbie Kipper cards, they're not even numbered. So I don't know how many cards is in this one. We'll go through them, child. We'll go through them. But yeah, just want to let y'all know why you don't have a deck or a video, honey. And just to give you an explanation on why I did not keep this AI generated deck. What's the gossip? But it had a great concept. And I wasn't even offended by the cartoons. The plastic smiles with the veneer teeth. I love that. And it was saying fake kindness, forced friendliness, hiding resentment behind smiles, friends in name only. I love that. But it was so many spelling errors, so many graphic errors with the fingers, the paints going into her hair, things that I just noticed. And I don't even have OCD, child, that I actually sent that deck back because it cost $20. If the deck was only $5, I probably would have kept it. It's 2 more AI decks out there that's being put out by a creator that are gorgeous, but they're $50. No fucking way am I finna pay $50 for AI generated deck that they just stole images off the internet and then stuck on the AI face to it. That I'm not gonna do. If you haven't noticed, being over on Kickstarter used to be a space where a lot of creators put their own individual work out. You know, they had it illustrated, they put some thought into it. And I noticed when I went on the Kickstarter the other day, a lot of these decks are AI generated decks with no thought into it, nothing like that. They may still be shipping them off to China to get them mass produced. But I've seen these images on the internet, all the faces look the same. I can't do it. I like creativity. I like artistic expression. And although AI can be artistic, I don't feel it's very expressive because it's from the brainchild of a computer, based off of you saying, all right, give me something that look like this. You know, yeah, I don't know. But again, what's your thoughts on AI generated decks, copyrighted decks, decks that appear to be knockoffs, or just decks from China, period? You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on them? What are your thoughts about decks that have repeated images used? Now, my Cosmic Cycles Tarot, it has repeated images used. However, if you go through the deck, and I'll link the video I did on the Cosmic Cycles, these images are telling a story, which is why you're seeing them repeated. Like this husband and wife in this deck here, in the Seven of Pentacles, we have in this deck when they first met, their first date. I think their wedding is even in there. And then we even have them when they grow old. So that even though the characters are repeated through the deck, it's not the same image. And the images are telling us a story about this couple. The images are telling a story about this young lady running through the airport and the friends that she meets along the way. The images are telling stories about this couple and their breakup. And I love this deck. Okay, this was a Kickstarter deck. It took, like I said, it took forever to get, but it was worth it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. See you in the next video, which is going to be a reading. I want to do a medical reading. I feel a need that somebody has some medical questions about their current health or their fitness that they would like to have addressed. So there will be fitness and health reading coming out later on this week. See you in the next video. Peace.